What's up, guys? February 21st. Got some information for you today about what's going on right now around the world, where we might be at in Bible prophecy, and what's just basically going on out there. And this is kind of going to jump around a little bit, but I'll try to do my best at keeping it in order the best I can. So, I don't know if you guys are aware of what, like, when the hippies, the 1960s, the hippie culture, all that stuff, when that was around, it was called, like, the Age of Pisces, which was, like, the Age of Water, I believe it was. So, the next age, or the fifth age, will be the Age of Aquarius. And another way of saying the Age of Aquarius is the age of the air, because Aquarius is actually, it sounds like aqua, but it's actually about the air. And who does it say in the Bible that has power over air? Who is the power of the air? Satan. Imagine that. So, I've been hearing about this, about how, there's so many little different things that add up into Bible prophecy. Some of it doesn't look like it should even affect it at all, but it does. Almost everything I've seen lately, that I see in the news and whatnot, all has to do with Bible prophecy. So, when it says that there was a war in heaven, the angels, Satan fell to the earth with a third of the angels. That is when he basically was given dominion over the earth to, do his thing. He basically, I don't know if you're familiar with the story of Job, but basically Satan said to God that he could take even the most strongest of followers of God, and if Satan was allowed, he would go down and destroy this guy's life, basically, and said that when I destroy his life, he will denounce you. Well, he put Job through every possible thing in the world that you think of, like losing your family, health problems, money problems. Job was a very well-off man, or a rich man, you could say. He had all he needed, a very big family, very happy, very, just a good follower of God. So when Satan took everything away from him and, just kept wondering, why isn't he denouncing God yet? Because he wouldn't. And when Satan fell to the earth and was given dominion over the earth, I don't know if the same thing was said, Satan said, hey, give me the chance and I'll prove to you that most of these people will denounce you and follow me, which looks like that's pretty much what's happening today. But I can't stress this enough, that when bad things happen to us, I believe that it's either Satan just messing our lives up, or like with myself right now, I have changed my life completely around. From everything I used to do, the way I used to think about things, the way I looked at everything. And for a long time, Satan, all the bad things that would happen, whether they were health problems or legal problems, because you all know I've been in quite a bit of trouble. Whatever it was, whether it was something I put myself through or that was something that I had no control over, no matter what, I would always be like, God, why are you letting this happen to me? I don't understand. What did I do that was so wrong? What should I do so that these things don't happen anymore? And, he could change all those bad things that happened, but then the whole concept of free will would basically be nil. Because if he changes all the bad consequences of our actions, then there wouldn't be any, you know, there wouldn't be anything to learn. There wouldn't be free choice, because if you know you're going to screw up and everything's going to be fixed for you, then no worry. Who cares about screwing up? God will fix it. So, like, people need to realize that it's not God putting these bad things on you or letting these bad things happen to you. This wasn't the world we were supposed to live in. This wasn't the world God had set up for us. Satan was jealous, from what my beliefs are. Satan was jealous, basically, that God took more favor in us, or, had more care for us than he did for the angels. Satan got jealous because he wanted to be God and be worshipped as God. So he rebelled, kicked out of heaven, thought he could win, thought he could take over heaven, and now he's down here trying to take over earth. Well, he took it over, or was given to, however you want to say it. So now that we're coming to the end of the age, I was just watching a different channel, a video this guy was talking about, like how everything is now in the V, or, the 5. The Roman numeral 5. And I didn't think about it, but the guy was really on to something. You would have to watch his video. It's ODD TV, or Odd TV. But he was saying about, like, just anymore how everything's like in the V, or the Roman numeral 5. And it was funny. Me and my wife just watched the Umbrella Academy the other day. I don't know what it's about, or like where this whole storyline came from. I don't know if it was a comic book at one time, or if this is just a movie that somebody, or a TV show that somebody created out of nothing. But basically, it was these 7 kids that this guy adopted, and they all had a special ability. And wouldn't you know, the number 5, because that's how they were named, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They didn't have names. They just had numbers. But number 5 was the guy, or the number, that was going to save us from the end of the world, oddly enough. And so I think that guy was onto something with the whole 5 thing. But, I mean, I'd have to do more research into that to let you know more about it. But, I mean, it's something to keep your eye out for, to look for. Something else I want to talk about is, so basically I think there's 2 things that can happen, or not can happen, but I think will happen, okay, so when the end of the world, when this really starts to happen, say the last 7 years of tribulation, a lot of people think that basically one thing will happen that will lead us into this. I believe 1 or 2 or 4 or 5 things can happen. And the 2 main things I'm watching for right now is the Black Awakening from Russ Dizdar, and the 7 Noahide laws, which come from the Jews, the Zionists with Israel, and Trump and Kushner. And yeah, that's a real thing that we're watching for right now. So basically, what the Black Awakening is that there is all these satanic super soldiers that are, not, the public doesn't know about them. There will be other satanic people that are supernaturally charged, but that aren't actual satanic super soldiers. But back in the 30s and 40s, when the Nazis were, before World War II, they were doing DNA editing, gene editing, all kinds of editing to to try to build like a super soldier. Basically, it was what they wanted. And when World War II happened and we destroyed Germany and the Third Reich, the Nazis, basically Russia and the U.S. knew that all of the Nazi scientists that were out there were going to get scooped up. Russia was going to scoop them up, or the U.S. was going to scoop them up, because we wanted all that technology. We wanted to know what they knew. We wanted to know what they had going on. So Himmler and Hitler were trying to make this supernatural, super satanic, super soldier army. Now, in the Bible, it says in the end days that there will be the World War III, the War of Armageddon, or however you want to call it. Excuse me, whatever you want to call it. Well, we're hearing things about these satanic super soldiers now. And if this is what is coming, if Russ Dizdar, what he's saying will happen, that basically there's going to be an alarm that gets sent out, probably by cell phone, on the radio, on the TV, however they have to do electronically. There might even be some that are in ways that we don't even know technology exists for yet. But when this alarm does go off, and this alarm is sounded, I don't know if you've ever watched the movie The Purge, but in The Purge, basically they're given 1 day a year to go out and be as evil and violent as they want to be, to get it all out of their systems. And then for the rest of the year, everybody's a good, productive member of society. So the world's all gravy. You know, everything's great. Nothing bad's happening because we get it all out of our system once a year. So for those who haven't watched The Purge, so basically just think of all the evil and bad thoughts that you and all those other people have for an entire year. You get to go out and take all your frustrations out on anybody you want to that you can get to, you know, because people are locking themselves in their house. They know it's coming. But if you can get to them, you can rape them, murder them, skin them alive, torture them, whatever you want to do. You are free to do. So could you imagine that happening? Like, just say it's 5 o'clock rush hour and you're on your way home. You just get off the phone, planning dinner for you and the kids, and the next thing you know, literally all hell has broken loose. Murderers, rapists, just every bad person in society that you can think of are going to be running around crazy. And these people are presidents of companies. They are CEOs, they are judges, they are doctors, they are housewives, they are soccer coaches, they are sometimes even little old ladies. And when I say little old lady, people think, well, who cares about a little old lady? Let me tell you, you better care. They are trained in weapons, they are trained in hand-to-hand combat, they are trained as like... say our elite fighting force has been trained. If you don't believe me, go look up Michael Aquino. Aquino. He was the guy, the main guy in the army, nobody above him, and he was in charge of psychological warfare. Wow. Do you know who Michael Aquino is? No? Let me fill you in. He started the Temple of Set. When Anton LaVey started the Church of Satan, well, Mr. Michael Aquino and his child-raping friends thought that, well, Church of Satan is just entirely too soft. We need something hardcore because, you know, the Church of Satan is just not hardcore enough. So we got the Temple of Set. The Temple of Set has been in charge of or Michael Kino, who's in charge of the temple, said, has also been in charge of psychological warfare in the United States. Google him, you will see him. He looks like Eddie Munster that's grown up. Crazy eyebrows. Anybody that wants to look like that, you can tell, is definitely not right up top. So, that's a nutshell what the Black Awakening is. I bought the book. It's on order. I'm waiting for it to get here. And as soon as it gets here, I will be reading that as fastly and quickly as possible, because there's so much info in the book that I cannot get online. So I can't really fill you in on a lot more of the details till I receive the book and read it. So that's in a nutshell the Black Awakening. And then the second person, or the second thing that I'm watching for very closely, is what is called the what I'm watching is the 7 Noahide laws. But there's more to it than just say 7 laws. So let me try to elaborate the best I can. The more I learn, the more I will teach you. Again, I'm still learning this stuff just as you are. I'm trying to take Bible prophecy and do all the research. I mean, I enjoy this stuff. This isn't work to me. I thoroughly enjoy this. I love it. This is what I try to tell people about Christianity, and thinking that it's all about Sunday old lady church time, because it's not. It's not anything about that. Maybe at one time it was. It's not that time anymore. We're ready to go to war. Christians now, the real Christians that are going to be in the mix of all this, if we're still here, if the rapture hasn't come yet, or if it comes at all, there's going to be a lot of us warriors. Physical, mental, spiritual, emotional. You can't just be tough outside. You can't just be tough inside, guys. You got to be tough in every possible way. And I'm not kidding. You're going to be able to deal with the emotions of not feeding your family, the emotions of watching your family and your friends getting raped and murdered. Are you going to be able to deal with those emotions of all these things that are coming? Because nobody really, like, at least in the Bible prophecy that I listen to, everybody's got their own way of expressing what they believe is coming, what's going to happen. But really, like, nobody stresses enough how scary. They call this fear porn. They want you to be scared. They want you to feel fear. And it even says in the Bible that Jesus did not give us the spirit of fear. God did not give us the spirit of fear. That came from Satan and the third of heaven when it fell. And Satan overtook the earth and took dominion over it when God gave him. That's when fear came in. When we were given this life, the original life that God had planned for us, we didn't need medicine. We didn't need math or certain math, the really crazy math. We didn't need so much of the things that we have today. We didn't need that, because that's not the life that we were supposed to have. So, like, when some of these things don't make sense or they don't seem to fit, a lot of times it's because we weren't supposed to live this life. There wasn't supposed to be sin. There wasn't supposed to be pain and torment. There wasn't supposed to be all that. So a lot of these things we weren't supposed to have. So it doesn't necessarily say it in the Bible or whatever. A lot of this stuff came from the fallen angels. And you can read in the book of Enoch, which was found in the Dead Sea Scrolls, just 60, 70 years ago, I think it was. So it's not in the Bible. The book of Enoch is not in the Bible. And a lot of people say, oh, well, it's not in the Bible, so, it's not something we should pay attention to. Well, that's on you if you do or don't want to pay attention to it. I choose to. And what it says in the Bible, or in Enoch, is, how this angel, this fallen angel gave us this technology for this, and this fallen angel gave us this technology for that. And like a lot of all the pharmaceutical stuff we weren't ever going to need. We weren't going to have pain and sickness. So like all that stuff came from the fallen angels. All this technology that we weren't supposed to need, a lot of it came from them. So anyway, back to what I was getting at. So when these end days come about and these satanic super soldiers are on the earth, and like I said, they're going to be old ladies and teachers and, all the people that you think wouldn't have anything to do with this. You think all these, badass Marines and Delta Force and all that. Yeah, there might be some of them too, but that won't be it. And the thing about these people is that they're going to be supernaturally strong. 120-pound women throwing 5 and 6 to 250-pound grown men, and they're just these little old ladies are throwing these guys around the room. So, yeah, it doesn't matter who they are. Be aware that it doesn't matter. They're all going to be dangerous no matter who they are, what they look like, or what. So, okay, back to the Noahide law. Sorry I keep getting off on different subjects. But these Noahide laws are going to basically come from Israel. Back when, I think it was like 2 years ago, Texas had all these bad thunderstorms, rainstorms and stuff. And a couple like areas of Texas were literally underwater. Literally, houses, everything underwater. It's geoengineering. They're training the atmosphere of the earth to do these things. They've learned how to control the weather. Believe it or not, you don't have to believe my word for it. Go out and look for the information and you'll find it. What do you think chemtrails are all about? Why do you think they're doing that? So, anyway, these Noahide laws will basically be as if the one world religion would be Christians, or say Christians as Catholics. The Catholics, the Muslims, and the Jews. They're not really counting just Christians as one of these top 3 religions. It's looking more as like Catholicism, because people think Catholicism is Christian because they worship Christ. Well, yes, that is the case. They do worship Christ, but they also worship Mary, and I don't know what's all going on in that religion with the saints and all that stuff. It's just a little too much for me. Don't want anything to do with it. But anyway, it's looking like we're not really considered as the third religion, is what it's looking like to me now. It's looking like the Catholics are, because in the Bible it says there will be I think it was in the Bible, 3 main religions. There are 3 main religions on the earth: Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. So, everybody always was trying to figure out how the one world religion was going to come about. Well, the Pope Francis just went over to Saudi Arabia, met with some high level Islamic such and such people in the Islamic Church, signed a peace treaty. On the front of Time magazine it says Christian Islam, as in Christian Islam, one world religion, Christian Islam. It says it right on Time magazine. I said, mark my words, if this goes through, this is the birth of the one world religion. Wow, sure enough, somebody was right. So when the Pope went over and signed his peace agreement, or whatever they signed over in Saudi Arabia, there wasn't any talk about Judaism. Then I found on another channel, the Texas thing about the Texas rain, The reason I was bringing that up is because when these guys went to sign their insurance papers for like their houses and stuff, for whatever weird reason, and there weren't a lot of people talking about it, but enough that I believed it was true, that if for you to get your insurance money from the insurance company for your house, that you had to sign a paper saying you would never go against Israel in the respects of, like, you wouldn't, I don't know, like, just you'll agree with whatever they want you to agree to, as if you live in Israel, not in America. So, like, nobody really knew what that meant or why they were doing this, why the insurance companies were doing this. And now, a couple of years later, when we see these, that people are talking about these Noahide laws, it's starting to make sense. That if these 7 Noahide laws are brought into America about Israel, then we may be looking at the Jews as, like, say, where the Antichrist might come about from, because some people thought it was Trump, some people thought it was the Pope, some people thought it was Netanyahu. I mean, it could be anybody. It could be Jared Kushner, for all we know, who is Trump's son-in-law. Well, anyway, Trump and Kushner are completely in the mix over there with what's going on with these Noahide laws. So, could it be the Black Awakening, or could it be the 7 Noahide laws? Or could it be both? Could it be a bunch of things? Well, one thing that I've put together about the end of the world is it's about Israel. And what is Israel? What is Jerusalem? It's land. And if Hillary Clinton would have been, if she would have got to be president in 2016 instead of Trump, do you think Israel would have been working with her? No. Do you guys know what the Chabad Lubavitch is? It's like a Jewish rich guys club. And I guess they are infamous. You don't ever hear about them, or you don't ever hear them talked about, but they are infamous and I guess scary. And you know what's odd is that old Putin and old Trump are old buddies in the Chabad Lubavitch. And it's true. Again, you can go look this up. Why would Russia be caring about Trump being, involved with this stuff? Why would, if there was collusion, if Russia was so worried about... Russia said that if Clinton would have got in as president, we would have been bombed at that moment in time. But because Trump made it instead, no war happened. I don't know the dynamics of that yet. But it's funny that, like I said, they're part of that secret rich boys club together. You think they might have been talking about this a few years ago? It's a very good possibility. Very good possibility. And I believe there's a few other things that can come about to bring the end days. I'm going to I'll be doing more research on these topics, guys. I'm trying to, I'm trying to get financing so that I can pay my bills and not be stuck at work so much, because I just can't do both. So, if you guys are always wanting to know how to help me, get me subscribers, get my videos out there. That's about one of the best things you guys can do for me. I'll try to knock this down here soon. What I'm trying to get done as soon as I get some time, I am doing the Satanic Crimes workshop right now. I just started it this week. There's also a demonology course that I'm going to try to get into, hopefully this year sometime. I just need time and money, just like anybody else. So, and then I believe I have a laptop coming. May not be here for a little while still, maybe a month or 6 weeks maybe, but I might have a laptop on its way. The sooner I get this laptop, the better videos I'll be able to make. I'll actually be able to put content and not just stand here and talk to you guys, because I'm sure you'd rather look at something else other than my pretty face. So, there was a couple other things I was going to say to you. Oh, yes. So, this is the end of the days. I firmly believe it. I don't need any more proof. There's more proof than I need to believe what I believe. The one thing I've noticed is that, like, I started cutting things out of my life. Certain things I want nothing to do with anymore, and I've noticed that those things are trying to creep into my life, and I won't let them. People that used to matter to me, that used to be part of my life, it's not that I don't want anything to do with them anymore, but my life has gone in a completely different direction than most of the friends' lives that I used to have to be with. Like, the friends I used to have, their lives are going in a totally different direction than where mine went. And it's not that I believe I'm better than anybody. It's not anything like that, but I have certain things that I'm doing with my life, and having friends and being tied down with friends just isn't one of them. So it's not that I'm not interested in you guys as having a good life, because I am, but I just want you to have your life, not mine. People want to live my life for me now because I made it. I struggled. My wife struggled. We struggled. We got to this point. I'm not just, people think, oh, what's your secret? What'd you do? I'm still struggling. I still have health problems. I've just decided to live for God. And now that I have an inner joy in my life, either Satan or people, because of Satan, don't want that joy out there. I've been getting just more hatred thrown at us. We've been having more problems with things. I ran over my cell phone the other day, and it was just so stupid how it happened. But the thing that's different about myself than the guy I used to be, that is what I'm trying to get at with, if any of these people see this video, is that y'all need to get God in your life. And the reason I say it's because there's nothing else that's important. No job, no wife, no husband, no kids, no car, no money, no anything is going to fill that hole in your soul than God. And all those things that used to bring me down about life, I'm not going to let them bring me down anymore, because that's Satan stealing my joy from me. And I don't care how many people don't want to see us happy, and all the haters that got mad because we bought a new truck. Keep hating. Keep being mad. I'm not mad, and I'm not hating. I'm loving life. Like, I don't care what bad stuff is happening around me. I still have the most amazing wife. I still have the most amazing parents with the most amazing daughter. So it doesn't matter what bad things are going to happen. I'm not going to let Satan steal my joy anymore. This life that we were given was not meant to live working 50, 60 hours a week just so you can have a nice car and Netflix. There's more to life than this, guys. And the more you worry about cars and computers and cell phones and clothes and worrying about getting your nails and your hair done, and all this stuff is trivial. None of it matters. And you're going to find out real soon how much it doesn't matter. Up to this point, it didn't matter because there was family out there and there was other important things that were more important. But it's even more so now, because we're at the end of the days to where every little thing you do does matter, and every little thing you do could or could not keep you from the kingdom of heaven. I'm not taking that chance. I'm not going to find out the hard way that I get up to heaven to talk to Jesus, and he says, yeah, good job, faithful son, except you shouldn't have been doing this whole time, and I tried to tell you and you didn't listen. You can't come in. Sorry, see ya. Then the hell you go. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to get that conversation. So I'm going to keep doing what I got to do to keep making my life better and to keep living for God. So I hope you guys can, follow my example, because I have been through all the sexual sin. I've been through all the drugs. I've been through all the other things that tie into that world too. And it's all misery and heartache. I've seen a really good friend of mine, and his kid's mom is out involved in some really, really bad stuff. And it just hurts me. It hurts me that the family's going through it, and it hurts me that that person is going through it. I don't even know this person that's going through it, but I know the life, and I know the hurt that goes along with that life. And I know the hurt that I don't have anymore because of the choice of getting God in my life. Up till just a few months ago, I always believed in God. Always believed in God. Never gave him enough time to be serious about it. And up till that point, I never could understand why God never took me serious in my life. Now that I've taken him serious, he's taken me serious, and that's how it'll work for you if you give him the chance. That's all I'm saying. Give him a chance. I throw out this one, this dare that I've been trying to get people to ask Jesus into their heart to see if, your life changed now. Wonder why. Think it had something to do with God? Maybe. So, with that, I'll keep praying for you guys. You keep praying for me. Hopefully we see each other in the clouds.